This is another lesson in a short series about cross-platform programming with Lazarus. Lazarus is a free IDE for programming Object Pascal. Now, the great thing about Lazarus is you can design on one PC, for example on Windows, you could design a user interface, you could program the code, you could write all the code, debug it, whatever you wanted to do on your desktop PC. Then you can copy it across to another machine, for example onto a Mac, or onto something running Linux. You can go between these operating systems and these different computers and just copy projects across and compile and run them. Really, really simple. I've shown how to do the basics of that in earlier videos, so if you don't know anything at all about Lazarus or you don't know how to communicate between, for example, I'm running a PC and I'm communicating with the Raspberry Pi. Well, if you want to know how to do that, I show how to set up that using a remote desktop to communicate with the Raspberry Pi direct from your PC. But in this video, I'm getting a little bit more complicated. I'm showing a slightly more complicated project than I've shown in the earlier videos. It's a basic adventure game. Now, if you've been watching any of my other videos, you'll know that I am mad keen on text adventures, the old Zork type games. Great programming project, a lot of fun to write. You can delve deeply into object-oriented programming. Great way to learn Object Pascal if you don't know it. Tremendously exciting and it's quite challenging as a programming project. It really does bring in quite a lot of programming techniques. Without more ado, let's see how I did it. So here's the simple adventure game project that I've just programmed in Lazarus on Windows. You can see I've got a form here with an output window up here, and then I've got these 4 buttons, and those let me navigate around the map, all the rooms in my game. I'm not going to explain exactly how to use Lazarus. I've shown you the basics in earlier videos. If you haven't installed Lazarus or you're unfamiliar with how to use it, watch those videos first. Now let's have a look at the code. So let's see what happens when I click the north button. So here you can see that the north button click method up here, well, it goes through a map. It finds the position of the player in the map, looks for the north entrance. If it's -1, that's a special code I've added. That means no exit, then it displays no exit. Otherwise, it updates the position to the position indicated by the north property of that room object. The map contains room objects. Let me have a... This should become a bit clearer if I go up here. So don't worry about this. This is all auto-generated code. But you can see this is in this comment here, I've drawn out what I want my map to be. So I've got a troll room, a forest, a dome and a tomb, and they have the indexes 0, 1, 2 and 3. And the map is, you can see that's declared up here. It's an array of room. I'll explain what a room is in a moment, and the only other variable we need to worry about very much is the pos, the position. That's the position of the player. So the map is initialized down here when the form is created, and so I create a number of rooms and I put them at different positions in the array of rooms. That's the map, and you can see I've indicated the north, south, west and east exits. Either it's -1 for no exit, or else it's an integer, an index into the map. So I know that, for example, south of the troll room is index number 2. Well, that's the dome. And that's really just as simple as that. So it's a very, very simple way of creating a map and navigating it. I'll just show you quickly the code. There's not very much of it. So I've got a look command, so that will show you where you are by getting the name of the current position and its description. That's the room. And then the north, south, west and east buttons, they're all pretty much the same. They just change the position according to the index in the north, south, west or east directions. The only other thing you need to understand is what is a room. Well, let's have a look at that. I've got that in this add classes unit. And the rooms here are, you can see, they're just classes that have, or objects that have N, S, W and E properties, and they are just integers. And then they have a name and description. And you can see that's really pretty simple here. And then I just have various routines to get names and set name and so on. Let me show you it in action. So I just compile it, and after a few seconds, up should, I hope, pop my form. It's still, there it is. Okay, so I start off in the troll room. South, I think, should be the dome. Yes, there it is. South, I think that's no exit, and indeed it is. East, west, and so on. Okay, so that's how I've created this simple adventure game in Windows. I've shown in previous lessons how to copy a Lazarus project from Windows to another operating system using the remote desktop on Windows, and that's what I've done here. Let me open the remote desktop. I've already got my Raspberry Pi computer running. This is the Raspberry Pi. The computer is the Raspberry Pi. It happens to be in a different room. It's not even where I am. It's on my network. And here is Lazarus. I've started up the Lazarus version of Raspberry Pi. All this is explained, as I said, in previous lessons. And I've copied across exactly the same code that I created on Windows. And let me try running it. So the user interface of Lazarus is pretty much the same as on Windows. And here it is. And south should be the dome, south again, no exit, and so on and so forth. So really, very, very simply, I've created a cross-platform application written in Object Pascal on the free Lazarus IDE on Windows, copied it across to a completely different operating system on totally different hardware, and I've been able to compile and run it straight away, including the visual design. Well, I think that's pretty good to get so much done with so little effort. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click that subscribe button and the little bell so that you receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. If you want other things to do now, go to my channel, look at the playlists, lots and lots of stuff already there on C#, Java, Object Pascal, all sorts of things about different levels, basic, intermediate, fairly advanced. So go and try out some of those projects, and I'll see you again with a new video quite soon.